What's up, everybody? I hope you are doing well. Bayley Pop here, and today we're going to be talking about if you take a pop out of box and display it that way, if it affects the value. Let's go! Alright guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you were doing well today. My name is Bailey and I collect all types of things like Funko Pops, Loungefly, cute pockets, and others, and I'm a huge fan of anime, Marvel, and Disney. If you enjoy those things, consider subscribing, leaving a little comment, leaving a little like, whatever you're feeling like today. But yes, let's talk about whether it really does matter if you take your pops out of box and display them that way, if it affects the price. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because I've been getting a lot of questions about it again recently, and I actually have made 2 TikToks about it and did a whole example test. So I'm going to show those really quick and then I'll add my additional comments. Does taking your pops out of the box affect the value? Probably one of the most talked about topics in the Funko community. In collecting, no matter whether it is Funko Pops, Loungefly bags, regular anime statues, or anything like that, the condition of your product matters. When it comes to Funko Pops, the box is considered part of the product, especially because they advertise a bunch of different stickers, and that can affect the value. That's why even if you're an out-of-box collector, if you ever want to resell those boxes, it's important to make sure they're staying in good condition. When you're taking your pops out of the box, it can damage the box, therefore affecting the value. That being said, unless you're buying it from a retailer directly, there's no way to tell if a box has been opened. Well, if you're being careful, that is. And I'm going to show you 2 pops. These are the 2 pops. It's Rock Lee and Merida. I've been displaying both of them in box since the moment I got them. I went out of my way to make sure that I picked pops that I don't show off on camera so then you guys can't cheat. It's your job to tell me which one has been opened and which one hasn't. I flipped the camera so it wasn't mirrored, but here are the front corners for you. Here is the side. Here is the back and the bottom. And here is that last side for you. And that's pop number 1, Merida. Here's pop number 2. It is Rock Lee. Here are the front corners. Here is side number 1. Here is the back and the bottom. And here is the last side. And that is Rock Lee. Let me point out the parts that I'd be the most concerned about if I were buying them. I'd be concerned with this part right here. Also with this damage over here on the corner. It's also dented in / bent in a little bit, if you can tell. This corner right here is also peaked up a little bit. So a dent up here at the top. Also some denting on the corners. Alright guys, which one is it? So how do I tell if a Funko Pop has been opened? In the last video I asked you guys which one you thought was opened, which by the way, I promise one of them was and one of them wasn't. When I reveal which one it was, I will show you proof. Now the reason why I wanted to do this exercise is because a lot of time you really can't tell if something's been opened or not. And as some lovely past retail workers pointed out, some locations do take them out of the box for display purposes. One great store I can think of off the top of my head is actually Box Lunch. Keep in mind there are scenarios where the boxes are just not in good condition from the moment they're sent out. Either the glue is bad or the box was just damaged in the making. There are a few ways you can guess if your pop has been opened. Here's my girl Anna. I bought her from a used pop store. Right out the gate, I know she probably was opened, especially because she's a Disney pop and a lot of Disney collectors like to have their pops out of box. However, I personally have not opened her. One thing to look for is the corner condition, mainly on the front corners. These are the corners where the box will be opened from, therefore it's easy to have the most creasing or have the most corner damage. You can see there's a little kind of like flare thing. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but it isn't flat, it isn't crisp, and also this top is bubbling up a little bit, which is not always a sign but could be. Another way to tell is some people just stick their finger in their pops and just pull it open, so there'll be dents here or there'll be bowing here. Now, this happens pretty often on old pops, but sometimes the glue being used just deteriorates over time or wasn't that good to begin with, so sometimes they start doing this thing where it starts pushing away from the actual box so it can flare out like that, or if there's too much pressure on the side of the box, that can happen too. And there are multiple things that can cause this, but sometimes the bottom just doesn't sit flat on the box. Alright, I've had you wait long enough. This is the one that was opened. I'm gonna open my Rock Lee that I did a video on all of my pops. I have a surprise about this Rock Lee that you guys don't know about. He's broken. He came like that. Yep, it was Rock Lee. One of these days I'll get around to getting a new one, but I'm still happy with the one I have for now. Let me know if you got it right. Thank you, Bailey of the past. I'm not sure, honestly, if there is anything else I'd like to say because I covered it all pretty well. In my opinion, it really just depends on how well you take care of the products that you own. Are you dusting them, maintaining them? If you have them out of box, is it on a carpeted surface or is there wood or tile on the floor? You need to consider that if you're going to be an out-of-box collector because sometimes they fall on the floor, and I've damaged pops when I've had wood floor, but I haven't damaged pops when I have carpet. I will also say that if you have a box that's damaged and you have the pop and the insert still, and you are able to sell it that way, I would definitely sell it that way if you are looking to sell a pop. And that is because if you don't have a box and insert for a pop you're trying to sell, it usually goes for around, this is a very rough estimate, around 50% less than what it's actually going for if it's just the pop completely loose out of box. A great example of this is the Miraculous Ladybug Pops. If you look them up anywhere, there are a bunch of sales. They're about maybe $70 less, if not a little bit more, than what they go for in box. Honestly, I think it's more than that. I haven't looked at them in a while. All right, I've said a lot of information, but the question still stands. Does taking your pops out of the box affect the value? No. What affects the value is the condition of your pop, the physical pop itself and the box itself that it comes in, which also includes the sticker. If you damage your pop in the process of taking it out of the box, or while it's being displayed out of box, if it gets damaged, then yes, it does affect the value. But beyond that, no. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them, and I'm happy to make a part 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it would be, to this video. A huge shout out to all the wonderful people that follow me across all of my platforms, including this one. If you don't already have my notifications turned on, I definitely recommend it because I often post late at night and I don't want you to miss out on a video. Alright guys, that's it for today. Always remember you're loved, you're valued, and you are enough. Bye!